What better way to describe the culture on the Delmarva coast than wildlife, biking, and some beer? Doesn't that all sound great? And it's getting all wrapped up in one big event. To tell us a little bit more, we have Matt Parker on the CoastLife couch. Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. So Matt is with the Western Sussex Chamber, and you have a really great event, Bike and Brew, coming up. Just if someone's never heard of it, what is Bike and Brew?
Bike and Brew, this year it's on September 16th. It's not a race, it's a bike ride, and there's different routes and there's different distances. There's from 15 miles to 100 miles and lots in between. Explores Western Sussex, a lot of historical sites. There's a nice map you get showing all the historical sites like Old Christ Church, the Mason-Dixon Marker, Woodland Ferry, things like that. And then when it's done, everybody goes back to Gymnastic Park in Laurel, and there's barbecue chicken and local microbrews, and it's all included in the ticket that you get. So, and it's a nice party. There's good photo opportunities throughout, different rest stops at these sites that nonprofits that we have put on, and the proceeds we share with the nonprofits that help put the ride on.
That's great. Let's talk about those nonprofits a little bit more then, because food and beer at the end of a bike ride, that's motivation.
Yeah.
But of course, giving back is a big motivation as well. So how are you giving back to the community?
So we have not only with the entry fee, but we have a lot of sponsors. Our sponsors have been very generous this year. We have more than we've ever had. And nonprofits have the opportunity to go to the Western Sussex Chamber page and they can sign up to be part of it. Great. And there's different jobs. There's, running a rest stop. There's at the final party, set up, clean up, helping during it. And kind of depends on how many people you have there from your nonprofit. But when it's all done and all the bills are paid, we total up the proceeds and we divide them out among all the nonprofits that have helped us.
That's great. So can people still sign up for that?
Yes, of course. I don't know how much is left for this year. We started doing this 11 years ago. We started helping with having the nonprofits join us maybe 5 years ago, and it's gotten really popular because it's a pretty easy fundraiser. Okay. So, but certainly let us know, because if we can't use you this year, we'll have you on the list for next year. Perfect.
That's great to know for a lot of nonprofits. And now you mentioned earlier distances.
Yeah.
One that you mentioned was 100 miles.
Yes.
Okay, so that might scare a couple people like myself away, because maybe we're not huge bikers. But can you talk to us about the smaller distances, right?
The most popular distances are the smaller ones.
Great.
The 100 miles are for the real bikers that come down. They'll jump on their bikes and they won't stop for 100 miles.
Right.
I mean, they really get going. But the 25 and 50 miles are very popular routes, and there's rest stops throughout the rides, and these rest stops are at the historical sites. So they can go there. There's somebody there that knows about the historical site, can tell them about it, to take pictures. So there's breaks throughout. So it's not a race, it's a leisurely ride.
Good to know.
And everybody meets back at the park, in Gymnastic Park in Laurel, and usually about 11 o'clock is when it gets going. There's a band there. Charlie and the Cool Tones will be playing. There'll be the chicken, beer. It's a big party.
It sounds like it, a real
really
big party.
Yeah.
And again, with those distances, you have the people who love going 100+ miles on their bike, but the smaller ones, could families even participate in that? Kids? Is there an age limit?
There's no age limit except for the beer.
Yes, that's true.
But certainly the 15-mile route is very popular with families. Southern Delaware Tourism helps promote the ride around here, and we have people coming from DC, New York, Baltimore, and a lot of those are families a lot of them are actually be camping. Trap Pond is a popular place for these folks to camp.
Great idea.
And then they'll go ride, and then they'll go back and camp. So,
that's great, because I think when people think Delmarva Coast, of course you think of our beaches and a lot of the tourism that we have, but biking and these trails really is such a huge part of Delmarva, especially people who live here all year round. So do you see a lot of people maybe trying biking for the first time, or is this something that these people, this is their life?
So we see a lot of the same people every year, but what it is to me is an opportunity to show our visitors that, the beaches here are great. I mean, I go there all the time. But the western side is nice too, with the trails and the wildlife and the Nanticoke River and things like that. So it just lets us show other parts of Sussex County and southern Delaware, and seems to be very popular. We grow every year.
Fantastic. So I'm sure a lot of families, a lot of bikers are going to be really excited to do this. So just one more time, if you don't mind, when is it, and how can they sign up?
So it's on September 16th. You can go to the Western Sussex Chamber page, and there's a link on there to sign up. It's capped at 500 riders. We don't go over 500 to keep it a more intimate and nice affair. And yeah, sign up and you get a shirt, you get the beer, the food, the ride. It's a good deal.
Sold. T-shirts, beer, food.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It sounds like a really fun event. Great, Matt. Thank you so much for being here and telling us about Bike and Brew. This is going to be such an incredible day for everybody.
Yeah, thank you for letting me tell everybody.
Of course. All right, we have a lot more to tell you about when CoastLife gets back, so don't go anywhere.